arriving because you are here. So last night in our Dharma talk, we were discussing how sometimes we feel overtaken by an emotion or a moment in the day when we get really contracted and hijacked away from our preferred self, our better self, the parts of us that are in integrity with our values. And one of the things I discussed last night was a sort of 5-step process that brings us through that moment so that what we're feeling is actually something that is related to our healing. So you might shorten that down to saying feeling is healing. So allowing the feeling process can become a healing experience. And the first step in that 5-step process is awareness. Being aware that we got activated or contracted, or we fell again into resistance or craving. We started to panic about our sense of self. The first step is being aware. And so our yoga practice is a place where we really develop and deepen our awareness, this sense of awareness. The second step begins with the letter B, and it means body, that we then feel into the body. Like just sensing what's present when you get activated. Do you go upwards and outwards? Do you get tense on the inside, appear calm on the outside? Do you go downward and inward in a kind of lack of confidence? These different kinds of reactions will be related to your fight, flight, freeze, or submit options. So the first thing we practice is awareness, and the second is then being in the body. And the third thing is curiosity, the letter C. And that curiosity is for, as this thing is happening to me, as this catalyst of my emotions has happened, what can I come to understand about how much of this present moment activation is also bringing in aspects of my past? How much of my past is showing up in the present? And another layer of curiosity is, and to what extent would avoiding this feeling and the ways in which I've practiced avoiding it, my strategies, my adaptations, how have they protected me from having to feel that which I couldn't feel, that which I didn't know how to navigate? So those are the first 3 steps: awareness, then the body, then the curiosity. And even coming into awareness is a sign that we haven't become merged with or really overtaken completely by this potential contraction or emotion. We are able to remember that this event happening in us, this contraction, this aversion to life, or this craving moment, it's not our totality. It can't describe us in completion. It's a part of our experience. And so these practices are ways that our daily life experiences become our teachers. And with respect for that inner guru principle in you, please bring your hands to your heart. And we'll chant Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Shakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Shakshat. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I missed a line because I'm doing call and response. I have to remind myself. Let's do it again, please. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Shakshat Para Brahma, Guru Shakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Now let's try it once through together from the beginning to the end. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Shakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Shakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. Thank you to our teachers and our teachers' teachers. And thank you also to the moments in life that are painful and become our teachers. May today's practice help us to transmute those moments into the opportunities that they can be for us. You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Take your hands out over your knees. Wrap your fingers over the knees firmly so your arms are taut. And as you inhale, please go up into a little back bend. And then exhale and curl down. Send the tailbone forward. Inhale, roll forward and up. And exhale, curl down. Now, when you're curling down, accentuate the movement of the spine evenly. When you're going up, do the same, but put a little extra focus in the up position and extra focus on the throat. And exhale to curl down. Once more, please. Inhale to rise up. And exhale to curl down. Press your knees down so your arms are even more taut. Roll up to your center. And then take your left hand over to your right hand. So place the left hand firmly on the right. Because you're sitting in Siddhasana, that might feel like it's a little ways away. Those of you who are sitting cross-legged, the knees are closer. Anybody kneeling, the knees are even closer, of course. So this distance that you're reaching to is on purpose. Let's inhale to go up again. Pull your right knee down to make the hands and the arms taut. And then exhale, curl into a cat pose spine. Inhale, roll the pubic bone down and your spine then upwards, upwards. Open your throat. And exhale to curl. Again, please. Exhale and follow the pace of your breath, particularly if it's not the pace of my breath. Please don't make yourself breathless in the process that we're doing. That would be an adverse effect. One more time. Inhale to go up. And exhale to roll down. Rotate to center. Switch your ankles so you give a fair shot to each side of your seat. Take the left hand over your left knee, make it firm. Bring your right hand over, whatever your sitting position is. And inhale to go up. Exhale, curl down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to deepen. Inhale, roll up slowly. Pace it with your breath, reserving the top of the inhale for the top of the movement. And same for the exhale. Pace it so that you really sense you're using the entire length of the exhale. And again, please. Last one. And then rotate to center. Take your right hand to the floor next to you. And then inhale, raise your left arm up. Deliberately keep the right arm straight right now so you are curving the torso to your left. So press firmly into your right arm to expand at the left side of your diaphragm. Then breathe in. Exhale, open your left arm and gaze down. Inhale, raise your left arm, rotate your head, gaze up past your left tricep. Follow your exhale to open, stretch the fabric of your body, specifically the left side waist and the throat. Inhale, rise as you rotate. And exhale. And inhale one more time. Now let's exhale. Use the left low belly to rise up to your seat. Release your left hand, take it down to the side of your mat, and inhale, sweep your right arm overhead. Exhale, open your right arm, keep the twist to your right, but rotate your head to your left. Inhale, rise up. Take your time. So the movement of your arm and your head, they're synchronized with your breath. And you're respecting your breath pace, not trying to have mine or somebody else's. Okay, once more through on the exhale, rotate your head, open your right arm, roll your right shoulder back. And last time for the inhale, pace the movement of your head and your arm to arrive together. And then exhale, pull up, use the right low belly to stabilize, and relax both arms down. And let's just pause to notice what is the echo, what's happening within your body. Okay. Now please come to kneeling. We'll start with Vajrasana, or your variation on Vajrasana. And Vajrasana means kneeling with your hips on your heels. And so for some of you, that's not going to be possible. So you might be sitting on a couple of blocks on your knees. And for others, you might be sitting in a chair. Okay, reach back and interlace your fingers, please, at the small of your back. Roll your shoulders open so it looks like your arms disappear. When you squeeze back like this, stabilize yourself with your foundation. So your shins and knees. Reach up with your heart and come into a little back bend. And then exhale, bring your head upright, chin down then, and gaze down as you sweep the arms back. And then inhale, raise up to that back bend again. So it should feel like you're really moving your heart, shoulders, throat, and your gaze. And exhale, bring your head to level on your way down, chin towards the throat. Inhale to go up. And exhale, chin in and arms back. One more time, inhale to go up. And exhale, bring your chin in towards your throat, gaze down, sweep the arms back. And then release the clasp of your hands. So rest your hands over your knees and quietly observe that there's an echo in the body that's going down your arms, towards your fingers and your thumbs. And now take a block or a blanket in front of you, whatever you're going to need. And how will you know? Let me back up so you might be able to see my block. I don't know if you'll see it. There we go. So when we come forward now, you're going to have your hands clasped at the small of your back. So the inhale is going up, and the exhale, we're going to come forward. And then raise the arms up like this. So if you try to get your head to the ground, and it feels like all your weight's going forward on your head, it will not be a comfortable lift of the arms. And you'll probably wonder why we're doing something that would be for some other creature, like a dog checking with the nose what is going on in the world. So please put something there for your head as needed. Roll your shoulders back, and let's inhale to go up. And then exhale, come forward. You are closing the torso to your thighs, supporting the exhale. Rest your forehead on the block or your hairline, and then inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, come up to kneeling. The chin is toward the throat. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, come forward. You're squeezing the breath out by the position of your body. Support your head, please, and then inhale, raise your arms up behind you. And exhale, hips to your heels or to your seat, chin to your throat. And now inhale, go up. And last one, exhale to come forward and down. Inhale, raise your arms. Squeeze the shoulders back. And then exhale, lower your arms down alongside your torso. Place your hands next to your feet, palms face up. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Let's rise up, please. If you need to, you can shake out your legs. Otherwise, you can come directly with me now. We're going to put a blanket where the head is, landing, because we are going to go up on the head this time. So please watch for a moment. Here's the inhale again, like a little back bend. It'll look like this. And then when you exhale, you're going to come forward and you will raise your hips, touch your hairline, then touch the top of your head. And then roll down to your hairline, hips to your heels, and rising back up to your seat. Okay, listo? How about if we change the clasp of the fingers by 1 digit so it feels like you're holding the unusual hand? Okay, so let's inhale, roll back through your shoulders, please. Raise up through your chest and your heart. And exhale, please come forward and down. Touch your forehead. Inhale, roll to the crown of your skull, raise your arms up. Exhale, lower your hips and then your wrists, and inhale, rise up to your seat. Pause with your exhale. Let's repeat that. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, reach up, open your throat. Exhale, come forward, down, touch your hairline. Inhale, roll to the crown of your skull, raise the arms up. And exhale, hips to your heels, wrists to your sacrum. Inhale, roll up to your seat. And let's pause with the exhale. We'll do one more round. So using your Ujjayi inhale, shoulders back, chest and heart open. You might even lean back a little bit if you're stable. And then exhale, coming forward, forward. Bow your head. Inhale, crown of the skull. And exhale, hips to your heels, hands to your sacrum. Inhale, roll up. And exhale to pause. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So one more thing here for the throat and this whole region of the body. And this is a little bit awkward for me because I don't have long arms, but let's go for it. So you're going to take the back of your left hand around the outside of your right knee. And to do that for myself, I have to pick up my right knee, and then I place my knee on the back of my hand. So this is a stretch of my arm length to get my heel of the hand to the ground. And take a block over here for your right hand. Place it on the tall setting and twist your upper body to your right. Because we brought the hand down under the knee, we are leaning just very slightly forward. Try keeping some weight in your left hip, so it's not that you're leaning your pelvis or your legs to the right. We brought the arm across and the torso across, but keep your left hip grounded. Press down through your right hand, your right arm, to roll your right shoulder up and back. Rotate your head now as far as it comfortably goes to your right. And keeping your right knee firmly pressing on your left hand, wrap your right arm around behind you, just around the small of your back, and roll your right shoulder back to the best of your ability. And then exhale and unwind. Sneak your left hand out from under your right knee and let the left arm swing. Imagine you're having swimming lessons. I used to teach swimming lessons, so that's not too far off. We're going to do the backstroke. Up, palm away, down, and through. So up, your palm faces away from you. Go back and down and through. So here we come through external rotation. Rotate, that's internal. There you go. Let's do it one more time. Forward is external rotation, up, rotate. Internal rotation, left arm down. Okay, notice how the two arms feel in relationship with each other. And now take the back of your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Oh goodness, I left my block over there. That's like when you're cooking and you already got something in the pan and oops, the ingredient is way over there in the kitchen. Okay, place your left hand on the block and press your right knee firmly onto your left hand. I know some of you might be getting a stretch in your wrist or your fingers. Rotate your chest and heart to your left, gaze to your left. Try to keep your weight into your right hip. Listen for how the breath is moving through you. And acknowledge that you're cultivating this awareness right now with yourself and with your body, not only for your yoga practice, but again, to use in that 5-step process I was talking about earlier. Awareness first, the body as a resource, and then moving to curiosity. Let's wrap the left arm around behind. Your pose will become less supported because the left hand is now not a support structure. Roll your left shoulder back. Press your left knee down. And then exhale to unwind and release your right hand from under your left knee and let the arms swing. Hopefully your hand doesn't reach the floor when you're swinging. If it does, you can come up on the knees so that you're not likely to rub your knuckles on the ground. If you're an orangutan, for example, I'm not in that genetics. Okay, and now like the backstroke. So come forward, it's external rotation, rotate and come down. Just let the whole shoulder get kind of lubricated. Notice that when you take your arm back, there is a rotation, right? You're twisting your thoracic spine, just even doing one arm. And then bring that to center. Shake the arm so that the fingers are getting a little bit heavy. And again, if your hands are going to touch the floor because of the length of your arms or your torso, please come up to your high knees. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, and release. And please rise up to standing. You can come up to the pose called Prasarita Padottanasana. I'm just doing a little housekeeping. So a wide stance, let's make the feet parallel, and that's pretty key. I'd like you to have your feet as wide apart as the length of one of your legs. I know there can be an inclination to go wider, looking for like a more expansive experience, or sometimes people put their feet more stable, but let's look for this equilateral triangle and come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. Relax the weight of your head and come into the Ujjayi breath. We're going to start kind of metering or pacing the breath now. And it'll require you to have even more subtle concentration. Balance the length of your inhale and your exhale. When you're aiming to balance the inhale with your exhale, make the counting of the breath something you're doing like gently, deliberately, but without over-evaluating yourself. And certainly don't make yourself breathless. Listen for the ideal length of your inhale and your exhale today. As you next inhale, raise up to your fingertips and open your chest, your heart, and your throat like you're doing the cow pose. And then exhale and curl your torso down. You can make the palms flat if that's appropriate for you. And imagine that you're doing the cat pose. Begin the inhale at the pelvic floor and come sequentially through your spine and the vertebrae. At the top of your inhale, open your throat and your gaze. And exhale to curl down, beginning that also at the base of your spine, but knowing that the entire spine and your head will participate. One more time with the exhale, like you're doing the cat pose. And then please shift your hands to your hips. Root down, tone your outer heels, outer hips, inner thighs, rise up to standing. And let's go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe to center. Make your feet hip distance apart or a little bit wider if you prefer that. And reach back to clasp your hands. Good. Try the interlace of the oddball hand, not your preferred one. Okay, set the shoulders back. Now I'd like you to tone your feet, so that's all 10 toes. Lift your arches. Energize your legs, including the tailbone. And allow the hips to come forward in line with your toes, not past that. Go up, up with your chest and your heart. Roll your shoulders back and come into a standing back bend. Okay, so having your hips go forward in line with your toes is giving you a little bit of a start on the back bend, but should not feel like you're compressing the lumbar spine. So go up with your chest and your heart. And then exhale, tone your inner thighs, bring your hips over your heels in that plumb line and bow over your thighs, releasing the exhale completely. And then inhale, rise back up into your standing back bend. And exhale, come down into your deep forward bend. Now, if your breath is slower than mine, I don't want you to rush your physical movements. So give 2 breath cycles for each of the movements instead of just 1. Once more up and once more down. Release your hands to the ground. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg and try to make it so you can have, if you need to, I'll put a block to show. You can have the fingers, the palm. You can take the left hand to support your right wrist heading towards the floor. Draw your right shoulder across the midline of your body. Twist your upper back, your chest, and your heart to the left. And then wrap your left arm around the small of your back and rotate to your left. And release, coming back down. Then you can bring the back of your right hand to the outside of your left leg. You may put your fingers on the floor. You may use a block. Depends on how long your arms are and also the length of your hamstrings. Secure your right wrist with your left hand. Try to keep your heels and your sitting bones equal so you aren't leaning your hips to your left. Press with your left hand down on your right wrist to support as you rotate your chest to your left. Whatever's opposite for you, let me just say that because I don't know if I was mirroring on the first side. So twist opposite of the first time. And thank you for your forgiveness. These mirrorings and not mirrorings. Take the top arm around behind the small of your back and use your inner strength for your rotation. Okay, and then exhale to release. Raise your hands to your hips. Rise up to mountain pose, please. So we practice awareness that the physical body is having an experience. Awareness that the emotional body might be having an experience. Awareness that we might have flocks of thoughts going by in the sky of the mind. And then turn that awareness inward to the body, so we're not going outwards to explain or justify or defend against experiences, nor are we going to the external world to blame the people and events around us. Sense where you can soften into yourself. Your body holds this incredible map of intelligence and also history. Now we're going to come to Surya Namaskar, and I would like you to use 2 blankets for this. If you have not been in the 7 a.m. immersion classes, you won't know this just yet, but you will catch on soon enough. So the 2 blankets are to elevate your knee when you're doing Anjaneyasana. Asana. They're also a little hurdle that you have to step over when you're doing the practice. And it's going to give us a little bit of an elevation for the knees in seal pose. So let's place 2 blocks here. Come to mountain pose facing to the east if you're able to. And join your hands together at your heart. So as we practice, may we maintain this kind of awareness that so much is happening for us in one moment, and that this moment is really asking for us to concentrate and synchronize. Can we stay connected to the body and this kind of inner life skill of curiosity? So using your Ujjayi breath, sweep the hands down, palms forward, and rise up. Now bring the hips forward in line with your heels, and exhale to a standing back bend. Make the arms like the letter Y. Inhale. And then exhale, rise up to Urdhva Hastasana. So you're back in your plumb line. And exhale, pour forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward, raise up to your fingertips. Please open your throat. Exhale, take the left knee back and down to the blankets. Bring your right knee in line with your toes. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, open the arms like the letter Y. Inhale, enjoy the back bend here. Stretch the triceps forward and your thumbs back. And then exhale up to vertical with the upper torso. And now exhale, come over your right leg. Touch down for the 2 blocks, and let's straighten both legs as you breathe in. Exhale, bow over your right thigh. Inhale, bend your right knee. This is the basic lunge, we can say. Exhale, float your arms like an airplane. Inhale, rise up to your crescent. And exhale, open the arms like the letter Y, so you're coming into a back bend. Rotate your triceps forward and your thumbs back. And then exhale the upper torso to vertical. And inhale, glide forward. Touch the 2 blocks. Exhale, step to plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. And exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Bring your left toes in line and your knee over your toes. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, open the arms like the letter Y. Inhale, rotate your arms to support your heart. So you'll feel the shoulder blades coming into the back of the heart. Exhale, pull up to vertical. Enjoy the inhale. And exhale, come down. You're going to touch the blocks with your fingertips. And then inhale, take both legs straight, glide your hips back. And exhale for a bow over your left leg. Inhale, bend your left knee, synchronize so you're arriving at the top of the inhale. Exhale, hover the arms to an airplane position. Inhale, root into your left hip and heel to rise up to your crescent. Exhale, open the arms like the letter Y. Inhale, rotate your arms to support your shoulder blades and your heart. And then exhale up to your vertical line. Enjoy your in-breath. And let's exhale, pour down. We're going to step into plank pose. So place your palms firmly and step backwards, completing your exhale as you arrive. Inhale, downward facing dog. Okay, exhale slowly, plank pose. And then inhale to seal pose. Touch your knees down, point your toes, raise your chest and heart, open your throat. Exhale, table pose. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. And then exhale your awkward foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hips in line with your toes. Exhale for a little standing back bend. Inhale, rotate your arms, support your heart. And exhale up to vertical, hands to your heart. Okay, let's play a little bit in Anjaneyasana. So let's start with my left leg back because it will make sense for part of what you're going to see. You'll miss another part, but I think you can work it through. Touch your left knee down to the blankets. And again, have your right knee in line with your toes. Not really past that, but I do want you to have your ankle flexibility, knee flexibility, and hip flexibility. Press into your fingertips so the chest can be upright. Now reach your right hand and arm straight back. So your palm is facing in towards the midline and your right thumb points down. And then bend the left knee. The right hand is already there, waiting for your left foot to arrive. Now as you start pressing your left foot back into your right hand, rotate your right shoulder back, turn your chest and heart to your right. Also twist your head and your gaze to your right. Press your left foot firmly enough into your right hand that you can then raise your left arm forward as you're twisting. Raise your left arm up alongside your left ear. And then exhale and slowly bring your left hand down to its block. You don't have to look for the block, it's going to be there. Lower your left foot back to the floor. Straighten both legs. Pivot your left heel. Take notice of the visiting small creature climbing over your toes. Okay, and come to Trikonasana, please. Okay, so in Trikonasana, we get to have sort of the benefit of the previous poses we were doing. So press into both feet, energize both legs, and then deliberately root your tailbone towards your left heel. Yeah, tone your left butt muscles and your right hamstrings. Take the left arm past your left ear. Make the C shape we were using earlier in class. It's okay for the head to be a little bit heavy. Press firmly into your right arm to lift and expand the left hemisphere of your torso. And then raise your upper torso and your head. Raise your left arm, sweep your hand behind you so that the back of your hand goes to the back of the sacrum. Roll your left shoulder back. Focus on your twist in the upper portion of your spine. So mid-thoracic, upper thoracic, and then cervical spine. And as you exhale, rotate to face down. Bend your right knee. And I still have a creature on my toes. Okay, and step backwards. And then float your left foot forward between your hands. Touch the right knee down, so we're going to come to Anjaneyasana. Let's just check that your left knee is more or less over the toes of your left foot. Reach your left arm straight back, so the palm's going to face the midline. Your thumb will point towards the floor. And then bend your right knee. Your left hand is just waiting for your knee to send you the foot. Start rotating your chest and your heart to your left. Press firmly enough with your right foot against your left hand that you can raise the right arm forward. And raise your right arm up alongside your ear. And then without having to look, start lowering. At your right fingertips will find the block. You got it? Yeah. And then release your right foot slowly. Left hand can come back to its block. As you straighten both legs, we're going to be pivoting towards Trikonasana. So when you pivot your back heel, your right heel, I don't want it to go farther back on the seam of your mat, not farther back than your left heel. So if you like, your left heel can be lined up with your right heel. So energize your legs, really accentuate the strength of your foundation here. So, and as well your left arm, so you can really expand into your right sideways. inhale, begin to level up your heart, your throat, your head. Raise your right arm up, and let's bring the right hand around so the back of your hand may go to the back of the sacrum. Rotate your shoulder back. Open to the twist. To the best of your ability, turn your nose towards the ceiling or the sky. And then begin to release down. And please bring your left hand and right hand each to their blocks. Pivot your right heel up and step backwards. Bring your knees forward to your blankets. Point the toes if that's comfortable. Drop your hips back to your heels. Your elbows in front of your blankets. And a block for your head. And then please rise up to kneeling. Okay. So in a moment, we're going to use the chair. As I was saying, I need a chair for class today. Please come to Vajrasana or to sitting. It's your choice. We start with awareness. You're doing it all the time in your yoga practice, but in daily life, that awareness that something is getting flared, some sort of version of fight, flight, freeze, or submit, some variation on contraction or aggression or deflation or escalation. And we go to the body to ask, well, could I soften to this experience? Can I practice non-resistance to my experience? And then we go to curiosity. And often we're not even available to curiosity if our nervous system has already taken the hijack. It's already been infiltrated. So curiosity is something that we might have to do a physical sort of dispelling practice to get ourselves to go to curiosity, to get the nervous system available to curiosity. And then we go to the letter D, which stands for discernment. So can I just experience my experience in a discerning way without embellishing it, without escaping it to tell a story about it, without adding more narrative to it, without looking for the cognitive, structural, strategic thing about it? Can I just use discernment to move from curiosity, discerning our way into the essence of the emotion? I was rescuing some plants in my garden, and to do that rescuing, I had to lift the plant out of the ground for a time and discern what was the root of the plant and what were the extra roots that were coming in from this thing called bishop's weed. What was the extra? Could I discern the root and follow it and set aside the additional, the non-native to that plant, what was not native to it? So that's a practice I'm calling discernment. You're not adding to the narrative, you're not embellishing, you're not diminishing, you're not dismissing, you're just discerning down to the essence of the emotion, which is the letter E, stands for essence. Okay, let's take a physical practice now that can help to quiet the embellishing mind, the part of the mind that wants to embellish the stories, that part of human nature that made all those soap operas, right? All the sitcoms. So you need your 2 blankets. I would please request that you fold them so they're like this, which is going to feel to your neck and shoulders like the equivalent of 4 blankets for this position. Let me change the angle of the camera so you can see better. Like this. And then please take your chair. So this pose is contraindicated if you have your menstrual cycle, or for any reason if you prefer not to have your hips higher than your heart. Could also include things like you have a detached retina, or you are uncertain about how to take care of your neck in this sort of position, or you've had too much food and so now you don't want to be upside down, something like this. Right, so the 2 blocks, let's put one for the right hand, one for the left hand. Your shoulders are going to be here, your feet are going to be here. To get into position, lie on your right shoulder on your blanket, and then roll onto your back. Put your feet up on the chair seat. At first it's going to feel a little bit awkward. Your head would probably not comfortably touch the floor here. It feels like it's dangling backwards. So hold your head as needed, pick up your hips, and then put the 2 blocks. And let's do it so that you have now your shoulders are not at the very, very edge of the blanket. Your shoulders are about 1 inch from the edge of the blanket. And the hips are supported. And if you're fortunate, the chair feet are right there for your hands to hold on to. If you didn't get so lucky, pull the chair in with your fingers. Okay, so let's pause here and just take notice of the neck and shoulders. With your shoulders on these blankets, it should feel to you like the right shoulder and the left shoulder are going across the blankets evenly, and that your collarbones would be tipping just off the blankets, but the spine of the scapula, the bony part of the scapula, is on the blankets. So both shoulder blades are firmly fixed to the blankets right now. And see if you can rotate your head right and left comfortably. Many, many times these emotional upheavals, we can call them, or downward spirals or rabbit holes, many times they involve a kind of closing of the throat, because we learned a long time ago to hold certain emotions in, and we needed a place to do that from. So the throat and the gut, usually they were collaborating to hold the emotions in. So we may not have expressed the sounds of the emotions, we may not have expressed the words of the emotions. In fact, we might have ingested some things through the mouth to help push those emotions further down. So in all of that, with respect for what that was, we're going to go up to shoulder stand and then come down to a little back bend pose. So I'd like you to hold the legs of the chair so your chair is stable. Pick up your hips off of your blocks and place your feet firmly on the chair. Before you go up to your full height in this pose, let's press the right shoulder down, lift the left and curl it under. Press the left shoulder down, lift your right and curl it under. And hold the chair with great firmness as you press the shoulders back and you snuggle the shoulders under the shoulder blades, as it were. Then raise your heart up. And press firmly into both feet. Use your butt muscles and your hamstrings. Lengthen the tailbone up towards your thighs, towards your knees. Bring your heart up and towards your chin down, and in towards your heart. Gaze down the bridge of your nose towards your heart. Let the arms be strong. We could even say powerful. And then begin to lower your hips back down to the blocks, which should still be there. Your shoulders will slide out of the position a little bit as your hips come to the blocks. Let's take just the arms overhead without really sliding out of position. And then slide back just one vertebrae until your blankets are really at the upper thoracic. So thoracic vertebrae number 1 or number 2. If you're not sure where that is, you place your fingers on the largest vertebrae at the bottom of the neck. That's called C7. It kind of protrudes out. And then the next vertebrae down is T1, thoracic spine number 1. Rotate your head a little bit to your right and a little bit to your left. Keeping your shoulder blades and most of your spine on the blankets means that when you turn your head to the right, you might actually be feeling the levator scapula muscle on the left. And when you turn your head left, you might feel the levator scapula on the right. And then bring your head to center and scooch yourself back by lifting your hips. Use your feet. Scooch back. Hopefully you're sliding comfortably on your blankets. Your blankets are not getting disheveled. Rock back if needed until you find that you have your hips on the 2 blankets, so your hips are still up in bridge pose, the blankets not all lumpy and disheveled. And we're going to put the legs up over the seat of the chair. So to do that, because now the chair is a little bit far away, you can reach for the chair and then position your legs. And now, as a practice of just simple awareness, we're going to rest in Shavasana. Let your gaze go down the bridge of your nose towards your heart. your entire body to relax and really for your body to welcome you back home, which it's inclined to do anyway. So see if you can let yourself feel that welcome back home from within your body. Invite the heaviness of your body and the earth together to help your mind really stay at home in the body. So allow the process to continue. You're coming back home, and everything in the deepest of you would like you to come back home. Stay close to home here with attention on how your body continues to invite you deeper and deeper in. This coming back home, it's a felt sense of arriving and being unified. We could say reunited. Now, without leaving home, as it were, just gently welcome your breath to come back in. Enjoy a slightly deeper inhale. A slightly deeper exhale. And slowly remove yourself from this pose that you're in to come to your meditation seat, please. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deva Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So first we come into awareness, then into the body, and curiosity, and discerning the pathway back to the essence of an emotion. When we arrive at that essence, we allow it to express itself, to be what it is. Quite often, the essence of the emotion is something more innocent, more vulnerable, um, deeper than rage, deeper than hostility. Those are very strong, often protective emotions. So going down to the essence. Remember, there's no sense of embellishing or diminishing. We're not adding to or taking away from. Down beneath the essence, we have this faith, the letter F, faith that in fact the process is happening. We're going in a good direction. We say this in yoga. Faith that you're going auspiciously. The letter G stands for grace, that you're coming back to faith in the process and arriving this quality of grace about the process. And then arriving back home. Please raise your hands to your heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Namaste. Thank you to our teachers and our teachers' teachers.